Hello, hello, everyone. We are live. We are live. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. Nelva Bryant. I'm with When Pets Fly. This is the Veterinary Air Travel Podcast, and I am happy to be here with you today. I have a repeat guest, Heather, and I'm sorry, Heather, I'm really bad with pronouncing last names, so I'm
Vaul,
probably
that's okay.
Heather Groll. Just say
Vaul,
Groll.
Heather Vaul. Yep.
Yeah, wonderful having you back with Purple Pebble to talk about the cuddle mat. But before I get started with that, I am Dr. Nelva Bryant. I'm a veterinarian and I work in the airline industry. I do work with Delta Airlines and been with them for the past few years. That experience has really opened my eyes up to a lot of things as far as animal transportation. I do focus on pet travel and a lot of things, but it's just opened my eyes on a lot of things that veterinarians and pet owners are not aware of when it comes to animal transportation or traveling with a pet. So I started a platform, When Pets Fly, to share that information. And I'm very excited. It's been going for quite a while. I've been doing it now for about 6 years. And if you want to reach out to me, I do have a social media presence. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I have a YouTube page, and I do these things. The podcast to share information or to connect you with different stakeholders in the animal transportation industry. And that's what I've been doing these past few years, and I love it. And like I said, Heather has been with us before, and I definitely want to get an update of what she's doing. Heather, if you don't mind, introduce yourself and we'll jump right into it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bryant. So I'm Heather Groll, and I've had a company called Purple Pebble for happy, healthy animal lifestyles for the last 23 years. Gosh.
Yeah.
Long time. And over the course of that time, things have evolved in the world, in the industry, and in my life. And the one constant really has been animal welfare, comfort, health, safety, well-being. And I'm so delighted that Dr. Bryant has found me and I have this new avenue to address because it's one that really sorely, in my opinion, needs addressing. The product, our flagship product, which is the Purple Pebble Cuddle Mat, is ideal for pet travel, pet flight, or any travel, really. It's just a functional dynamo. And I'm delighted to discuss how specifically it's a godsend for air travel, which again, the standards in the industry are really just the bare minimum, and we can really do much better.
Yes.
So I'm happy to talk about that today.
The bare minimum sometimes is just like a wee pad they put inside the container. I think that's sufficient for the pet during transport, and that's not comforting, I'm sure. Not comfortable at all,
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised. 23 years?
Yeah, I know. Wow. It's been back when there were huge holes in the marketplace, and now of course it's a very saturated marketplace, but my product really does still have a great niche and stands out, and one of the most special things about our whole line is that they're all handmade in the US.
Oh wow.
I'm very proud to say that. And that does play a part. I'm sorry, Dr. Bryant. What were you saying?
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
I was going to have you expand further. Please tell me what sets the cuddle mat apart from other things. Of course, definitely, like I said, it definitely beats a wee pad. But as far as comfort, being able to absorb and remove waste or anything from contact with the animal, just tell me what makes the cuddle mat special.
So being that I am so incredibly passionate about this product, as it is not as widely publicized or known about as it should be as such a special product, I usually, when I'm asked things, I can't even contain myself and I just go off in all the different directions. Today, I'm really focused on making this a little bit more broken down into sections of interest. And I'd like to start with what you were saying about comfort. So comfort, especially when we're talking about air travel, pet travel, is essential. It's really, it becomes a health and wellness issue, the comfort of your pet. And comfort is more than just softness. People think, oh, just the squishiest, softest, most plush thing. I'm going to throw in all the dog's toys and have them all comfy. And it's almost counterintuitive. Actually, in this case, comfort, less is more. Safety, definitely less is more. And you'd be surprised, and I'm going to break it down and unpack the whole thing, but the overall umbrella of it all is that comfort is not just physical, it's emotional. It's about security, the dog feeling secure and comfortable, and then also, of course, the actual physical layer.
Yeah.
And the cuddle mat really is something that will provide both layers of comfort
Well,
together.
well, a topic I've been bringing up, and I don't think people understand fully what I'm saying when I say this, but I'm trying to promote animal welfare during air travel.
Hmm.
And the term animal welfare, people don't really get and understand what we're meaning, but there's more features of it. And you're saying with animal welfare and their safety and their well-being, just well-being during transport has comfort. It has to be also now if they're inside those crates or containers for a period of time, it's also being um darn it, acclimated to being confined in it.
Yes.
It's also being the appropriate type of container too, IATA
Right.
compliant. So all these things, and then I want to go further with animal welfare, making sure they're medically fit to fly, making sure their documents in order because the welfare of this animal is just impacted by everything
So many
during
layers.
transport. Yeah, so many
Yeah.
layers.
Yeah.
So the thing about this, what you're talking about with the cuddle mat, is that people just don't think about this part as far as what to do to prepare their pets. They don't think about it.
Yes.
Like you said, they just throw some things in the crate and think they'll be fine. But the consideration and thought needs to go into their comfort levels too.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to try to rein myself in a little
Hmm.
bit because I could go
Hmm.
on for years about this
Right.
probably. But let's start with the fact that it is not a comfortable situation, period. This is not a comfortable situation. So what
Confinement.
we have to,
Confinement.
right,
Mhm.
confinement and all of the stimuli, the farm, not with the pet parent is not there to comfort
Mhm.
them. They've got all kinds of noises and
Mhm.
smells and they're alone. I mean, I don't want to go through the negatives. Let's talk about what we can control to make this a stable and predictable and prepared environment for them.
Mhm.
So, like everything else, you can only worry about what you can control, not what you can't control. And there
Right.
really are a lot of things that we can control if we prepare properly. And preparation is the key word there to make this as safe and comfortable as possible. So, the first thing that you did say something about was acclimating
Mhm.
the animal to the environment. So that is huge. And what I recommend is at least several weeks prior to the flight, having the animal in that crate on a Purple Pebble cuddle mat, ideally, but whatever you choose to put in there, so that the environment is one that the animal associates with routine, with comfort, with relaxation, with their personal
Yes.
space.
Yeah, and also their scents and everything that makes them feel comfortable too,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, definitely, and their scent. So
Mhm.
as opposed to having an animal enter this confined, alone isolation chamber for the first time and having no association, no scent, no familiarity, no
Mhm.
grounding, that can be very traumatizing. That can
Right.
be very
Right.
alarming. And
Right.
and we have control of that. If we prepare and we get them into this environment, make it a positive thing with their scent, with the
Mhm.
routine, and this is now their space, it becomes a lot less scary.
Oh, yeah. Definite. Love it.
So,
I love it. And let's take a step back because I met you a good year or two ago, I believe, and you sent me an example of the cuddle mat, and I was trying everything you would say, all the things you're saying that you can't destroy, it doesn't tear apart. I
well,
like
I didn't say it's indestructible. Let me
well,
just
okay, it's not
correct you there.
indestructible, but what I was trying to do was trying to see as far as stains. I poured all this stuff on it
Oh,
and
yeah.
threw it in the wash, and it came out perfectly
Thank you.
clean.
Thank
It's
you.
perfect. Yeah.
I appreciate that feedback and
Yeah.
in this environment, but
Mhm.
I realized last time, and like I said, I'm so excited about my
Uh-huh.
product, I could talk about it forever, but I really
Mhm.
want to focus for the point of this segment today on pet travel.
Yeah.
And I guess, yeah, stains, that is relevant. Of course, that is relevant. I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, well, the
yeah,
thing I noticed about it too is that any wetness, it took it away from the animal. It didn't stay and soak on them. So it happens, folks. They may have a potty,
absolutely.
they may urinate or whatever,
Right.
and you don't want it to be there stuck on them and everything. So I thought that's a great feature.
Absolutely. I was actually getting to that. I had
Mhm.
in my head how I was going to break this down. You're
Uh-huh.
jumping ahead on me, but that's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, 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 that's okay. That's a huge benefit to this
Mhm.
product. But unlike wee wee pads or newspaper shreds that have been historically the standard in the industry, because like that's what I was saying before, that's the bare minimum. Those things will contain the liquid, which is key. You don't want to have urine sloshing around. I mean, just the thought of it and saying it, I can't even bear it. But we have to take it a step further. We are now evolved enough to take it a step further. So we have something on top, which will provide the comfort, the support will stay in place. Part of the comfort and the feeling of comfort and the actual physical comfort for the animal is something that they can feel grounded. That's not going to shift. They feel secure. It's not going to bunch up like a blanket or a towel. The cuddle mat stays in place. It gives them the cushioning. But like you said, it will allow the liquid to pass through onto a wee-wee pad or newspaper or whatever you want to put underneath to absorb. But let's not stop at the layer of absorption. So I love the fact that the cuddle mat will give them the physical comfort, their scent, what we were talking about before, and then allow something underneath to contain the liquid. So yes, it will wick away on top, keep the animal nice and comfy and hygienic like a diaper, and then nothing will be moving around underneath if you put something underneath it. So that's what I would say I recommend.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. So I wanted to start with the acclimating. So I'm saying like earlier, the better. I mean, a few weeks minimum. But like the earlier you get the animal familiar with the crate and the cuddle mat together in that environment, the better, because the more they'll be used to that. But the benefits in the crate are obviously the scent, the cushioning, the fact that like if you put a blanket or a towel, that can also become a ingestion hazard. If the animal's anxious, which they're going to be anxious, you don't want to have something they can shred up and ingest, right? So this is something that is going to pretty much eliminate that problem. It's not indestructible, but it is really, really hard to destroy. So if it's fitted properly in the crate, they're really going to just be calm and comfortable and not eating it up like they would a blanket or a towel. So there's that.
You know what?
Another thing you want to consider is the temperature. You know, you don't want something that's going to heat up. And our product is an all seasons product. So it's going to maintain that equal, like it's not going to get extra hot in there, because I know that's also part of the crate requirement, you know, that it's breathing, that it can allow air. And this is another benefit to the cuddle mat. It's going to stay that temperature. It's not going to heat up.
You know what I want to add on here, just a thought, is that a lot of times pet owners don't really think about their crate for their pet that much. They just figured it's just like almost like luggage. I need this like luggage. But again, there's requirements. IATA compliance, the International Air Transport Association comply with that as far as the container requirements for your pet. FYI, most of the pet containers or the travel containers on the commercial market are say they're airline approved, but they're not IATA compliant. So they may have to be modified to meet the standards for the airline. And again, the airlines are going to be looking primarily for IATA compliant crates. But they don't realize, again, when getting the crate or container, that's not just luggage, it's their environment, it's their safety environment during transport, you know? And a part of being safe is that comfort level. So all these things come into place. And again, and you were saying, acclimation. Weeks ahead of time. For cats, it might even take longer, guys. You might have to have your cat, because cats are very, will avoid crates because they know that means they're going either to the veterinary hospital or somewhere they don't want to go. So I'm even saying sometimes, I mean, it may not go with the decor of your living room or what have you, but you might need to keep these containers out at all times so and feed them in it, and it'll become their safe haven.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Yeah, it's their portable anchor. That's the thing that I like to say about the cuddle mat. Unlike other beds, it's not a big, bulky monstrosity. It's perfect for crates because it doesn't have a bolster. The bolster really is not necessary. It really just eats away at the dog's or animal's space in the crate. You can slide it a little bit up the sides to protect against crate bars in a crate bar situation, but that's not what we're dealing with in this situation. But basically, that's what I look at this as, a portable anchor that they are familiar with. They're familiar with their routine. They're familiar with the scent. And yeah, as soon as possible, if you have it in your home. The other nice thing about the cuddle mat, as far as looking at it in a decor, it is a completely neutral product. So it's not going to be fighting with any kind of decor that you may have going on. It looks like a high quality product because it is a high quality product, and it's completely neutral. So
that's so cool. So then what we're saying is being that the cuddle mat is portable, you can have this normally routinely out for your pet. Just that's a normal place where it can relax. But when you're traveling now, I can put that cuddle mat inside my crate or container and move forward that way. That's perfect. That's perfect.
It's there everywhere. It's not so much recreating, like people think they want to have their bed and their toys and their things from home. You don't need to recreate the scene. You need to recreate the experience. You need to recreate the comfort, the consistency, and less is more in pet travel, especially in a flight situation, because everything else that you put in there becomes a hazard, not like at home.
Yes, that familiar environment, because you want them to have that during travel, and even on sometimes depending on when you get to your destination, if it's a new place, you still want something familiar that they're accustomed to and get back to their routine once you get there.
Yeah, I think that it's nice to have cuddle mats in the crate, out of the crate, in the back of your SUV, wherever you may go. You roll it and go. It's easy. And the more consistency, the better. A lot of I work very closely with pet boarding facilities. And we always say the pet boarding facility will have the cuddle mats there, have your cuddle mat at home. And it really, in similar way, creates a lot more familiar of an environment and reduces a lot of that anxiety that, the separation from the pet parents will create. So it's a similar thing. It's creating the experience of familiarity, routine, and comfort, and have your cuddle mat everywhere.
That sounds really good. That is the answer. And you know what? I was just speaking with someone saying that really, when pets go to boarding facilities, it actually is almost similar as, being away. It's a point where they're away from their owner again. Right. So, and that's going to cause stress for them. So I see why it's definitely important in that environment too. And that probably was your initial, I don't know, when you first started out, was your initial focus for that environment for the use of the cuddle mat, or did it evolve over time?
We realized quickly that because of the durability of the product, that pet care service facilities, whether they be veterinary, strictly pet boarding, doggy daycares, they need something that's going to handle the commercial abuse of all the temperaments and all the ages and sizes and everything. And that, they've got, sometimes hundreds of dogs a day. They need to wash these things over and over and over. And it needs to hold up. It needs to hold up for safety, but it needs to hold up for the pocketbook. It needs to hold up because you can't constantly, like a lot of these businesses, replace bedding constantly. And they're buying very inexpensive, flimsy things that are also a hazard, that are also not comfortable. And they're doing it because they think they're saving money because they have to constantly replace them. But I do have pet boarding facilities that after many years, they're telling me, Heather, we love the product. They're still good. They're still intact. And that's like not great for my business model, which is why I'm always still hustling, but it's really wonderful for them. It's like an insurance policy.
Well, I think also, just thinking while you're saying that, also, what about the shelter environments? A lot of the shelters are always wanting donations for people to give blankets and stuff like that, but they don't last well, and they degrade over time. Shelter environments definitely could use a cuddle mat.
Absolutely. The only issue with that really is that it is a premium US made product. So there is a price tag associated with it. I mean, although they do really, really last. Yeah.
You know how it is. Either you pay up front or you pay over time.
Something like that. Yeah. You end up paying a lot more with I even say I have a piece that I send my pet boarding facilities on why free isn't so free, because they're like, no, we're going to stick with the towels and blankets. We got a friend in the hotel industry and they give us comforters. And I'm like, okay, let's look at this now. how much are you spending in to wash and dry this? How
Mhm.
long does it take? What's the wear and tear on your machines? What happens if the pet ingests a piece of this? Where, you know, what kind of money are we talking about then, to your
Right.
reputation, for the vet bill, for, you know, that whole thing. And then, of course, the replacements and the time and the energy, and what if, you know, the dog shreds it all up, and what about the comfort of the, you know, I could go on and on. Free isn't as free sometimes as we may
Right.
think up front. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
But again, back to pet travel, I think that this product in combination, and I do definitely think it needs to be in combination with a wee wee pad or some kind of absorbent uh, material underneath, because this will not absorb the liquid. I want to be
Mhm.
clear with that. But it provides all of the comfort and the emotional security and the physical security and the not bunching up and the moisture wicking, which also, by the way, I had mentioned last time I was on, this material is very, very special. It used to be used in hospitals, in human hospitals,
Mm.
prior to the invention of disposables, exclusively in burn units,
Oh.
because it is that gentle on the skin. It's also used in puppy whelping. But when you're dealing with an animal for a long time that's going to have accidents, or you want to call it accidents, going to urinate,
Mhm.
it's really ideal because it will keep the skin dry and comfortable, and it's great for that too. So
Well, you gave multiple uses there.
yeah,
Imagine those folks that are out there breeding uh, dogs or cats, and
yes.
they have, you know, for whelping and making sure the puppies are well taken care of, doing the whole process. Another
And Dr.
opportunity.
Bryant, I don't know if I had mentioned to you, I have veterinary facilities that actually use this. Talk
Oh.
about multifunctional. They use this, and just as a quick aside, they'll take the animal in on a cuddle mat as a gurney into the OR, use it in the OR, and have a clean one for post-op in a crate,
Mhm.
because it's that gentle and durable and comfortable and hygienic. And there really isn't another material, not only material like it, but the way that we double side it, we stitch it so the dogs can't get at the stitching. So it's like invisible stitch, double sided, and it's the most hefty synthetic lamb's wool out there. There's only 2 mills in this country that make it. It truly is a specialty product. So it's wonderful in veterinary environments as well.
That's
Um,
perfect. But you maybe start thinking of the veterinary schools with the teaching environments there. I
hmm,
mean, you
I hadn't thought of that.
there's a wide open area for that product because it's
Yeah.
definitely needed.
I hope to see the cuddle mat really get into the pet travel arena,
Mhm.
because there's no reason why it shouldn't be. I mean,
Yeah.
this is where we are now. Our pets are our children.
Right.
You know, they're not outside in the doghouse anymore, tied up. You know,
Well, look.
these are our kid, right? We've evolved quite a bit from that time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the care
Yeah.
that we take in what we feed our animals, the supplements we give our animals. I mean, this all goes hand in hand with the people, the pet parents, and I do like to call them pet parents and not pet owners. I
Mhm.
do that very intentionally because that's how I feel. Um, this is what it is to take care of our animals, as our loved ones,
Mhm.
not our pets. You
Oh,
know, yeah.
definite, definite. Man. Well, I'm trying to think what other things related to animal welfare we can discuss. Or um, let's see, we talked about different uses for the cuddle mat. Um, it's definitely needed, like I said earlier, for getting them acclimated to being confined in their crate and just for comfort during transport. I just want to mention the other thing as far as transport and them being comfortable. A lot of pet owners will try to, again, as you're saying, make that environment, the container, similar as at home. Just say bones or treats or what have you,
Mhm.
plus a cuddle mat or something like that. I just
Yeah.
want to just remark on as far as some of the things you are allowed to put inside the crate with a pet. Anything that's a potential choking hazard, just be aware the airlines will deny that and everything. So just be mindful of that. So if it's a round ball or whatever, just remember certain items you can't put in there because there'll be a point where they're unattended to and something could happen and you don't want that to happen. And I'm sure you've seen on TikTok or some of these other things where they show these rescues of dogs that have gotten a ball caught in their throat, and it's a true medical emergency. So
Less
be
is
mindful.
more.
Yeah, so be mindful. There are some things that will be restricted to be inside the crate or container of your pet during transport. So just be aware of that. But the cuddle mat, to me, I don't see why it definitely, that would be perfect, to be honest with you. And you did show me a photograph of it and what it looks like. And I have one here too. They're very nice. I'm sorry, guys. I did have the photo and I'm having technical difficulty. I'm not the most computer savvy person, so I couldn't figure out how to get it attached to show you guys, but we will make sure you're familiar in how to get to it. So you can get a picture of it prior to, and you can always contact you, Heather, in reference to that too, correct?
Yeah, and I actually have been having some website challenges recently, but in the next hopefully 24 to 48 hours, everything will be smooth sailing.
Good.
And you can go to my website and see my beautiful new website, purplepebble.com. I'm very excited about. There was something else you just made me want to comment on, and I forgot it. Shoot. You were saying, what did you just say prior to the tech problems? What did you just...
This are the items that are allowed inside the crate. Just be mindful of that. If anything's a choking hazard, you would have to check with the airline to make sure they're allowed to transport that. So just be careful with that. But again, I think the cuddle mat would be a perfect addition going in cabin or going by cargo. To be honest with you, it would be perfect.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I think truly, my opinion is there really shouldn't be anything in there other than the cuddle mat and whatever's underneath, because that they're not going to be doing anything good with it. Whatever's in there it becomes, they're gonna take their stress out, whatever stress, and you just don't want that. I was gonna say also the cuddle mat is great for training, for the place command. I work with trainers and they use it. It's a wonderful place command. And again, the more places and situations you can think to use this product, then you put it into the crate for air travel and best case scenario, because they're using it in all the positive places with the pet parents, with, training, with in the car, when they're going somewhere fun, anything where you can associate this with a calming, positive experience and making their crate their personal space and spinning it into a positive rather than an isolation, punishment, confinement. Let's spin it into, this is their little cave.
Yeah,
this is their little special spot.
That's what I was saying earlier. You can keep it out at all times, especially for people traveling with cats. Keep it out and feed them in it and get them accustomed to going in it. Yeah. And then also another positive thing, after they get accustomed and they feel safe inside of it, take them places, but don't take them just to the veterinary hospital. Take them to multiple places and it could be a positive experience.
Bring it to the park, bring it to your friends.
So they don't think that every time they're in a crate, something negative is going to happen.
Exactly. Association, positive association.
And another thing that I did have a guest on a while back. Gosh, I forgot her last name. Gretchen. She was doing a lot of things. And also my good friend, Derek Garrett with Zounds. They are into music therapy for.
I love that.
And what you can do is maybe play certain musics when they're in there.
I think that's
also,
fantastic.
What Gretchen was recommending, sometimes they said you can find on YouTube certain sounds, like the sounds of construction, sounds of something, maybe sounds of at the airport. Maybe play these sounds while they're in there so they get accustomed to hearing these. And now it's not scary, so they just need to be acclimated to the environment of being a crate and then the sounds that they're going to hear. So it won't be startling if they hear a truck or if they hear, I don't know, construction. So there's ways that you can start preparing your pets for air travel. And again, cuddle mat, acclimation, and a compliant crate, then music and different sounds, that's going to help the whole process.
They are, as you well know, I mean, I'm preaching to the converted, as they say, but, they are, the sensory stimuli are huge in emotional comfort for animals. Something underneath them so that they know that they're secure, so that they feel they're not going to be shifting around when things are moving around. They need to feel grounded. That's key. The sense of smell, their scent. The sounds, like you said, all of these things are great builders of comfort. And I love that idea of the same noises, but also, and I do want your help in connecting with sounds. I think
Okay.
I would love to connect with them.
Okay.
But even classical music is wonderful for calming anyone and pets as well. That's also a very calming thing, a distraction that could calm them also, if that's possible. I don't know, but
You said something that jarred my thoughts on something too. You said they don't like to be jagged around in a crate.
no,
They don't.
no.
That brings up a point to me. A lot of people think you should just sedate your pet and they'll be fine, but sedation is going to make them really unsteady if you think about it, because now they are not in control of their body movements. Number one, sedation is not allowed going by cargo. Airlines will definitely against it. The AVMA is against sedation of pets during transport as well. But it impacts thermal regulation. Just again, they can't control the body. So now if they're sedated, they're going to flop all over the crate. Wouldn't that cause even further stress?
Absolutely. Such a great point. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up, though. But yeah, they don't want to feel unsteady inside of a crate. How would you like to feel unsteady? You're on a
and
roller
you're
coaster.
Sedated.
Yeah, you're on a ride and you can't control your movements, and it'd be very uncomfortable. Yes. And probably lead to people think, oh, they'll be fine. That might even lead to further, thermal regulation, so they can get worked up over that. It could lead to vomiting because they can't, and they're not controlling their body and flopping around. So it can make things worse. It can make things worse. I wish that pet owners will stop thinking that that's the quick answer to everything. It's really preparation, as you said earlier. Getting your pets prepared for air travel. It's going to require a lot of steps to do so. But hey, you want them to feel safe and comfortable during transport, and all of what you're doing is promoting animal welfare during transport.
And honestly, I know people will sometimes get a wee pad because it's cheap. These things, shavings of newspapers, cheap, whatever. Spend a little bit of money. It will be well worth it for the safety and comfort of your animal. It is not disposable for a reason. It's so easy to care for. It's almost dry by the end of the wash cycle. It is stain resistant. It's just super easy. You don't have to unzip anything and worry about, getting it back into the zipper.
Stuff, like I said, stuffing or something like in it. No.
Yeah, I've had those before I started this business, and you're trying to stuff things back into and everything, like with those stuffed beds, the stuffing, after you wash it once, it balls up on one side and the animal's on an empty cover, and it's not supportive or helpful. This product, the Cuddle Mat, will actually give consistent cushion and be sort of locked, not physically locked into place, but it'll stay put. If it's sized properly to the crate, it'll stay put and really give them a foothold. It'll really keep them secure physically in the crate, which is definitely a plus, a huge plus. Because again, picture yourself sliding around on some blanket,
right?
Awful. Right. So I don't know how that got started.
It's okay. That was wonderful. That is really, really good. Well, are there any other things that you want to share in reference to the Cuddle Mat and just your thoughts on? I mean, we've touched on a lot of subjects, a lot on basically really being comfortable and crate acclimation, and really top everything. What we're saying is preparedness. Have your pet prepared for air travel. This is going in cabin or by cargo. Make sure they're prepared and really comfortable during transport.
It sounds like when you say prepare, we're preparing always for so many things, and somebody might a person might say, oh, I can't prepare for any more things. Like, I've been preparing for this and for that in my life. And, but it's not a lot of work. What we're talking about is really not, you're not going to spend a lot of time, but the thought and the little bit of time and, that you take to do this will make a world of difference. This crate becomes your pet's world. This is, for a few hours or however long they're in the situation, this is their world. And for a few moments to invest in a Cuddle Mat, which, isn't a lot, it's not disposable. So you're paying what you should be paying for a non-disposable quality US product, but it can be used for years and years. I mean, even facilities use it for years and years. So if for personal use, it'll last even longer. I mean, frequently it outlasts your dog. So take the time to just, be mindful that creating consistency is creating comfort. And in a highly stressed environment that you don't have control over how there's going to be separation, you don't have control over that. You don't have control over the noises. You don't ever have control over the movement. But we do have control, especially with a cuddle mat, over these elements that are part of the experience. So why wouldn't you, if you really truly love your animal, why wouldn't you take the small amount of time and care to really make a very, very big difference for your animal?
I love that. And I can just add on to it is that the difference is, do you want to be proactive or reactive? I'd rather be proactive and prepare and everything instead of reacting. The reactive part would be your pet's not comfortable, your pet trying to break out of the crate because you didn't get them acclimated and everything. So that's the reactive part. Let's be proactive to prevent all of these things from happening. Let's look at pet travel as a proactive event with a lot of details to ensure, again, animal welfare during transport. Just be proactive.
You plan for yourself. You think about your own travel. Think about your pet's travel. I mean, and it's honestly like we've evolved. I feel confident that we have evolved as a species, as a human species, to include our animals in health and well-being, and where we choose to board them or you know.
You know what? You just made me think of something. As you just said, we've evolved, right? We no longer have them outside chained to a fence. They're inside. They're inside. Now they're on our sleeping with us and all these things. We've evolved that way, right? Well, let's evolve with pet travel. Let's be proactive. Let's start evolving in that pathway too. To be prepared for that journey with them.
The time has come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Well, I love that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I feel very empowered. Like, I hope a lot of people see this and realize that this is not it's just common sense. It's common courtesy, and it's not a lot of work. It really is not. It's not a lot of work. It's just some thought. What you don't want to do, and I don't mean to be negative, but I'm just going to say it again. Don't show up on travel day and throw your pet into a situation they've never seen before. Why would you do that? Why would you show up and then you see they're panting and you're getting nervous and you're trying to go away and relax and you're like, oh my God, my dog is going to have a heart attack. Right. And then you got to say bye-bye. There they go. You have a choice. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Right. I love it because honestly, again, we've evolved, right? We have evolved. We have them with us. We want our pets with us all the time.
We have better options.
Yes. So you have to prepare for all that. Come on now. So I love it. I love it. I love it.
Sorry, get me going. And it's like,
I love it.
Yeah, because honestly, it's not hard. The options are now here.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that we need to do, and Dr. Bryant, you are helping me so much in getting the word out there, because sometimes people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And they do the same stupid thing because they didn't know there was another option. But yes, we have another option.
Yeah, there's plenty. Look, we've evolved, right?
We've evolved. You like that? Yeah,
we have evolved. There's things out here. There's products. There's a cuddle mat that's going to definitely help your pet stay comfortable,
simple and smart. Yep.
Yes, comfortable and everything during transport. So I love it. I love it. Anything further you want to say, or I think we hit it. To be honest,
we hit it.
We hit it. So thank you everyone for joining us. Anything further here? Let me put your information up one more time. Please contact Heather. As far as you said, there might be little glitches with your website, but it's coming. Don't give up on her.
Don't give up. Give me a call.
Yes,
shoot me an email.
Yes, love it. And this is me. Please, if you have any questions regarding traveling with your pet, or if you're a pet owner or veterinarian, please contact me. I'm here to help. And we'll be here again next week with a new guest. And again, thank you all for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. Thank you.